It was truly the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm going to try not to get too emotional, but this is the story about the day that we ended up having to give the baby back that was with us for 6 weeks. We named her Kit. That wasn't the name on her birth certificate, but that's what we called her for the 6 weeks that she was with us. So once we realized there was no path forward, we asked the agency to coordinate a phone call with the mom. We spoke to her for about an hour. Honestly, that conversation went so well, and it gave us so much clarity and insight into why they had originally placed her for adoption to begin with. When the mom had gotten home from the hospital and started talking to her family, they were absolutely shocked that she had actually gone through with the adoption. They had offered her so much support and lending a hand and helping her. And all of this was done after the fact instead of prior to placement. So she had no idea the kind of support that she would have from her family. During the phone call, we coordinated meeting up the next day. We then had 24 hours left with Kit. And that 24 hours was the most present that I have ever been in my entire life. There was such a deep heaviness, but then there was also this amazing gratitude that we just loved being able to spend this time with her. So the day felt so long as we counted down the hours that we had with her, but we just had so much joy that we got that experience to even just be with her. So we met at a Chick-fil-A with the agency and then the mom, and we went over all her routines, the breast milk that she was on, her sleep schedule, everything that we had experienced with her in the course of the last 6 weeks. We got to share that with the mom. And I remember explaining everything to the mom, saying, you have other kids. I know you know how this works. She was like, every child is so different. I want to hear exactly what you did with her. And I just appreciated that so much, that she was willing to listen and hear everything that we had just experienced with her for the last 6 weeks. She was so appreciative. She could tell we had taken such good care of her, but you could also hear the frustration in her voice because she had made a plan for this little girl so that this little baby was taken care of for the rest of her life. And then the father had gone back on his word. You could hear the frustration that she was now having to pick up the pieces of all of this. And at one point she apologized and she said, I'm just so sorry for the situation that we put you in, and you probably hate me. And I stopped her right there and I said, there's no way we could hate you. We truly have had the best 6 weeks of our life. And we knew what an unfortunate situation this was for all the parties involved, but the last thing I felt for this woman was hatred. I could never hate her because of the joy that she brought to my life. So after we had gone over everything, she signed the paperwork, and she was then sole parent of this child. So we walked outside, we went to her car, and she was getting her car seat adjusted, and we were giving her the clothes and formula and breast milk and bottles and everything that we had for Kit, we were giving to her. I had a note in there with her entire routine, and then I also looked at her and said, there is no shame around this situation. My contact information is here. If you ever need anything, you please reach out to me. We are here to help. I just remember saying, there is no shame. We knew that there was never any ill intent in this situation. It was just a very unfortunate position that we were all put in. So we did not have any hatred towards her. We were truly just looking out for the best interest of Kit. And all along this process, we had been praying God's will be done in this whole situation. We selfishly had wanted to keep her so badly, but we knew that God's plan was bigger than our desires. So we watched her fumble getting the car seat ready. We kissed Kit goodbye. We hugged her, and we walked away and just started sobbing. And we got in the car and turned on worship music and just cried our eyes out. It was truly the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but I know there was purpose in that. I don't know what that purpose is, this side of heaven, but I do know that we were supposed to be in her life for those 6 weeks. We still pray for her. We've gotten a few updates with some pictures and how she's doing, but it's so strange because when we got those updates, she didn't even seem like our child. It seemed like a whole nother lifetime ago that she was ours. And we did have such peace about the entire situation, even though it was very hard. We had such peace knowing that it worked out exactly how it was supposed to. I see a butterfly. I see a butterfly. And the first night that we didn't have her home with us, our house was so quiet. And I woke up in the middle of the night just sobbing, hearing her cries. I loved her so much. Adoption is hard. It is complex. It's very unfortunate that questions weren't asked on the front end and things weren't done on the front end. That would have alleviated a lot of this pain. But we have peace knowing that she's exactly where she's supposed to be. She has loving family and support around her. So yeah, that was the hardest 24 hours of my life. But I would do it all over again because she was incredible. And she was such an angel in our life.